How heavy is this game?
Get him, get him, get him, get him! Hell yeah!
Life and death. That's it.
You kiss your family on the dock, you never know if that's the last time or not.
I love Michigan City. It can be dead flat, or it can literally break boats in half. For this race, if it does get big, it's about survival. If it's flat, it's going to be an all-out dogfight.
I don't give a I want this first place.
Michigan City, the greatest offshore racing site in the world. Don't miss it.
Checkered flag, baby.
That was awesome. Best race of my life.
And welcome to the XINSURANCE Offshore Great Lakes Grand Prix. Race World Offshore presenting the next race of the World Professional Race Association. And we are here at one of the most popular stops in the country in Michigan City, Indiana, LaPorte County, as Key West ends up the World Championships a little later this year. A lot of race fans will tell you this is another one of their favorite stops here on Lake Michigan. As we get set to go, 71 boats registered to race here this weekend. We have bracketed boats racing today, Pro Class 1 boats racing in qualifying, as well as Super Cat. And they will also race a full points race today and tomorrow. It'll be a combined two-day event here in front of the fans, as well as Super Stock doing qualifying heat. So we have a lot to unpack here and a lot going on at the Maximum Inflation live stream here at the Race World Offshore Facebook page and YouTube channel. Maximum Inflation, the new Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit by Maximum Inflation, is the only U.S.-made valve that uses CO2 cartridges for your side-by-side, motorcycle, or ATV. Your machine got you there. The Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit gets you home. We'll be joined by Eric Colby of SpeedOnTheWater.com here momentarily from the Porte Performance broadcast booth. But right now we have a report from the XINSURANCE pit cam in Michigan City here. Tristan Garvin is our reporter down in the pits, and we're going to check in with her now with a pre-race report.
Hey everyone, it is a beautiful day in Michigan City, Indiana. We're here at the XINSURANCE Great Lakes Grand Prix, brought to you by Race World Offshore. It is 70 degrees, sun is high in the sky. It's a little bit of chop out there, about a 1 foot wave, but we are so excited to have a perfect day of racing. And back to you, Todd.
All right. Yeah, man, it's time to race here in Michigan City. The run-up to this has been absolutely amazing. The fans here are some of the best out there on the offshore racing scene, and this is going to be a beautiful race here. The weather has been spectacular in Michigan City here since the boat started rolling into town, and we have a beautiful race day. There are a lot of questions about what the weather was going to be like here. It was blowing pretty good out of the north at 15 to 20 pretty much over the last couple of days. Those winds have died down, and now we're looking today at a wind that's supposed to be more out of the northeast-east in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. Right now we're looking at a wind somewhere at about 8 miles an hour at about northeast. And the course out there is beautiful. The blue waters here in LaPorte County, Michigan City, Indiana. Todd Swafford here from Race World Offshore getting set for bracket class racing. In just a little bit, we'll have qualifying with Super Cats and Pro Class 1. We'll have opening heats with Super Stocks and more bracketed boats to wrap up our racing here today. Eric Colby of SpeedOnTheWater.com, my broadcast partner all the way through the RWO race season next to Chicago and then Clearwater before heading to the RWO Key West World Championships, the 44th annual event coming up the first week in November. Full schedule of events at RaceWorldOffshore.com. Eric, welcome to the broadcast.
November, and now it's August.
Yeah, I know it does.
It's been a while, but I've been just getting amped up watching the guys test. So there's going to be some great racing today, and this course looks very raceable for all the classes. We're not going to be fighting the sometimes big water you get here in Michigan City, but I think it's going to be some very fast racing.
And talking to some of the locals, they think that some of the weather that came in, with the winds that brought some of the rains and maybe some of the weather that might kick the winds up have gone through here. And I mean the racers here that have raced here for roughly 15 years will tell you that this course can change in 15 minutes if the winds come up out of across Lake Michigan and build up to 15 or 20 miles an hour. Within 15 minutes you could be out there on the course, and all of a sudden the wash tub effect comes in and the whole race changes. Your setup is blown. Right now though, the forecast looks like it's going to hold like this today and even be lighter winds tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Lake Michigan. It's one of the Great Lakes, and they can get just as rough as any ocean, and the spacing is so different because it's so much closer. Guys will tell you who've raced on the Great Lakes, when the Great Lakes get rough, it's such close and steep waves and chop that sometimes it can be harder to run in and beat on you more than when you're in the ocean. But we're not going to see that today. We're starting to get some boats out now in the bracket 200, 400, and 500 classes.
Those are the boats that will open here today, and quite a list of bracketed boats here. As we mentioned, 71 boats they announced at the drivers' meeting total. It's about half split, I would say, between the bracketed boats and the national class boats here. It looks like the base boat is trying to get them up and get them on the move. They're moving eastbound now. This is your typical beach course, the big oval out on the beach. It's 4.65 miles long. And our bracket class 2 and 4 and 5 will all get up and start together.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of boats that are rookies, so they're supposed to start 100, 150 feet behind their class. But we can. Do you want to do the rundown?
Yeah, Eric, why don't you go ahead and give the rundown of our bracket class boats that are starting here in our first race of the XINSURANCE Offshore Great Lakes Grand Prix, Michigan City, Indiana.
In bracket 200 in lane 1, you're going to have the very popular Team Woody with Billy Shipley and Chad Woody out of Weatherford, Texas. Lane 2 will be the father-son team of Cade and Keith Herbot in the 35 Fountain, or I think it's a 38 actually, Herbot Racing. And then lane 3 will be the 39 Phantom from Sarasota, Florida, with owner Joey Oliveria on the wheel and Billy Glick throttling. Now, lane 4 is going to be your first boat from the bracket 400, which is XINSURANCE Hartman with John Izzetti and Jerry Hartman. Lane 5, Burning Man Offshore, the 32 Speedster with Kyle Dietzen and Chris McElway. Lane 6, Miss Stress, Jimmy Wessel and Bruce Dudley. Lane 7 is Simmons Racing with Jake Coons and Jason Zolecki. Lane 8 is Perdition Offshore, a boat that runs quite frequently in the Northeast. John Thornton and Brian Williamson. Lane 9, Saris Offshore Racing, Johnny and Jason Saris from Lake George, New York. Lane 10, Framed Offshore. The guys from Key West made the trip up to the Key West of the North here in Michigan City. John Jenick and Michael Flamia. And Shocker, Lane 11, which is the 29 Nitra, Chris Colson and Ray Evans. And they actually took the bottom off of that boat and went to Scott McCormick at Velocity Powerboats, and he put a new bottom on it for him. So let's see how it runs. We've got 8 laps for bracket 200, 7 laps for 500, and the 400 class boats are running 7 laps as well.
Well, your bracketed boats, they vary in speed. They are bracketed to a top speed limit. Class 200 are V canopied or not, up to 95 miles an hour. That is their bracketed speed. These boats are 30 to 42 foot in length. It's single or twin, inboard outboards, or even outboards. But again, they're bracketed top speed. They got to hold it at 95 miles an hour, no more. Class 400, V canopied or not, 85 mile an hour speed limit. Those boats are 27 to 35 foot long and inboard outboard. In class 500, open cockpit V boats only, single IO, inboard outboard, naturally aspirated engines, with a speed limit of 70 miles an hour. That is their bracketed maximum speed.
Oh, and in bracket 400, we also have our only navigator. Vern French is in with the Saraces and Saras Racing in their 32 Cobra. So that's got the real classic offshore look with 3 bolsters across, throttleman on the left, driver in the middle, and the navigator on the right.
It's nice to see so many teams that have come here in bracket class racing over the years. As Roderick Cox, our race director, said in the drivers meeting today, the alphabet soup that's been in Michigan City through the years, many dedicated OPA racers over the years, they came back on down to Michigan City to make another stop at one of their favorite sites across the country and are here today. The Saras family and Saras Racing Engines, John and Jason Saras, their engines are in a lot of boats here racing today, and it's great to see them racing here in Michigan City, Indiana.
Yeah, their engines are in the Perdition boat in bracket 4. They're in the new Tough Noogies boat, a 30-foot super boat that they built for bracket class racing. And I don't know if he's watching, but a friend of my family, Tyler Woolston, recently got hired by the Saraces and works out of their shop now in Bolton Landing. So, Tyler, if you're watching, hope you're having a good weekend. And here comes Herbach getting out late by the looks of it, coming out of the harbor. You can't see this on the screen. I just happened to look over at the lighthouse, and it looks like the yellow and purple fountain is trying to get going. And they're milling now at the north end, at the east end of the course, right?
Yes, the east end of the course. So again, this is a beach course, and as you look down towards the lighthouse, this is near where the VIP area is, and where the start-finish line is, actually in the far turns of the west end of the course, turn 1 and 2, and then the boats head on the outside leg heading to the east towards the far end, just a little bit over 2 miles, and turn at 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching them test this morning, boats that were out there in the size range of more like the 500 class, I mean, they were fully coming out of the water, so it's not calm by any means. Boats are it's still gonna get sporty, but they're not just going to be getting the you-know-what kicked out of them like they do some years when it really whips up here.
Live coverage from the Porte Products broadcast booth here in Michigan City, Indiana, as we overlook the beautiful blue waters of Lake Michigan. Porte Products, leaders in marine technology and builder of the Porte hydraulic lift bracket, the most advanced in the world. Let us build one for you. Go to porteproducts.com. We're waiting for the start of our bracketed boats, bracketed class 200, 400, and 500. We'll get racing here started today. We have a full day going with qualifying coming up immediately following this race for Pro Class 1 and Super Cat, and then the 2 race heats to establish lanes in the starting grid for Sunday in the super stock class, and we're estimating that in the time of about 1:45 here this afternoon. They will split the 14 boats into 2 sets of 7, inverted from the last finish of the season at Lake of the Ozarks, and we'll have 2 4-lap heats that will determine the starting grid for tomorrow's full race, when the super stocks will have the biggest fleet of boats, 14 total here on the national fleet. And then after that, we'll have the Pro Class 1 teams come out and race approximately 2:30, 2:40. Now the Pro Class 1 boats are racing twice. They're racing 7 laps today, 10 laps tomorrow, and it will be an equal points race over the 2 days. The average will determine who the overall winner is in Michigan City, Indiana here. And our last race of the day today is the remaining bracketed boats, class 6 and 7, and they will start at approximately 3:30. You got the big street party tonight, which everyone loves and raves about.
Parade.
The boat parade, the leading up to that, before we come back here and finish up with a full day of racing with all the other classes here on Sunday. And we'll have the full coverage here on the Maximum Inflation live stream from Race World Offshore. It's the XINSURANCE Great Lakes Grand Prix, Race World Offshore, here in Michigan City, Indiana. So Eric, this weather just about right. A little bit of wind. I'm sure it's putting a little bit of a bump on the water, but for the most part, this is going to be a great weather weekend. Look at the huge crowds up and down the beach.
And that's one of the things. Although you talk to the teams from Florida, and you're from Florida, and come up here, and I saw guys in coats this morning because it was 50 or 60 degrees, and I was just kind of like, man, this is what it's supposed to be like. But this is Chamber of Commerce stuff here. They ordered this up.
Yeah, we have a big scaffolding behind the VIP tent. The race scores are on the very top. We're just above the roof line of the tent, and so luckily, for us, we're in the shade, and the breeze coming off the water is quite cool, and is, as Eric mentioned, especially from folks that came from hot areas. And I'll tell you, when we were in Lake of the Ozarks a month ago for the first race of the WPRA season, it was blazing hot there. It was humid and hot, just like Florida. And so this is a welcome scene. Fresh water for these boats and cool weather.
And cool water temperatures, which the engines don't mind. You make horsepower when you got nice cool water going through there.
Absolutely.
Now we're just waiting for the I haven't seen orange smoke yet, but that's way up at the other end of the course, so it's kind of hard to pick that up on the monitor. Orange smoke is the signal to kind of get the boats going and get them formed up. What's interesting to me is they're starting all these boats at once. I would have thought maybe 2 starts here with 200 and 500 in one start, and then 400 on their own, but
I think that they did. Yeah, I guess they didn't want. They didn't want the 70-mile-an-hour boats in front of the 85-mile-an-hour boats, so they just start them all at once. And the good thing about this, Eric, is that there's a long straightaway here. If they can get them released quickly, hopefully they can spread out from each other. The faster boats will move forward. And now this is a scoring.
They're forming up now.
They are forming
We do
up.
have smoke.
We have a smoke, and so we should have a start of this race. One thing to fans, if you're new to the sport, these bracketed boats, it's kind of maddening. It's counterintuitive to the way you race. So you have a driver and a throttle, and you see the orange smoke up. We're going to get set to go racing. The green flag will go up on the pace boat here as they line them up and get the starting grid lined up and actually start the race. But bracketed boat racing, the throttle man has to look at the GPS on the dash and make, especially in a race like this, these boats can exceed their bracketed speed.
Oh, yeah.
They've got to hold that boat there. So your throttle man, who a lot of the times is just looking at the water in front of him, looking at the boats next to him, as well as the driver, but the throttle man has to hold that boat at the bracketed speed. You cannot break out of your speed limit. If you do, you will be disqualified.
A lot of these throttlemen tell me that they're throttling by feel because they're just staring at the GPS on the dash, making sure they don't go over. So if they're setting tabs or if they're pulling back, you pull back on the throttles when the boat goes in the air so you don't over rev. And then but the guys who are real good with the brackets, their eyes are locked on that GPS to make sure they don't break out. And a way that you can tell that someone may break out usually is if they make a pass in a straightaway. Because, most of the moves are made in the turns here, but we've got boats forming up now.
Looking at the XINSURANCE helicam here as we look over top of the boats out on the east end of the course. These guys, it's easier for the throttleman actually if they're in a rough race and they can't make their speed.
Right.
Then they can just be a throttle man.
Okay, now they're lining them up. They're getting them formed up with the yellow flag. So and what they're going to do is they're going to put the faster of the boats, the bracket 2s on the inside, then the 400s in the middle basically, and then the 2 500 class boats on the outside. So here's your cigarette pace boat that is driven by the father, the patriarch of the Buis clan. And there's many of them down here, so we appreciate him coming down to do this.
Yep. Nick Buis of Statement Marine.
Chuck Buis.
His father. You get a good look at the boats as they get up and get ready to start here. Still waiting for the green flag and our bracket class racing to get underway.
Still got a yellow. Oh, and green just went.
Green flag is up, and let's go racing here in Michigan City, Indiana. The race is on. Here come your bracket class 200 boats leading the pack.
Yeah, it looks like OC is out to an early lead, but man, they're right together. You know that Billy Shipley's going to want to hold on to that inside in Team Woody. He likes to run a tight course. But right now it looks like OC Racing is out to an early lead, and Herbot and Team Woody are side by side just behind him. We'll see as they come by here.
Down in front of the fans on the beautiful beaches here of Michigan City, Indiana, the bracket 200 boats will lead bracket 400 and 500.
Now, are we counting this as lap 1, or is this
Yes.
Is this the start of lap 1?
This is the end of lap 1, is the way I understood it.
Okay. So we got OC and Team Woody and Herbot are too close to call. So it looks like Herbot has a little bit of a lead, but Woody's inside, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Looks like Saris Racing just edging here.
Perdition is in the inside.
Perdition
And Simmons is in that mix too. Yep, Simmons is inside of Perdition, so they just made a nice move.
But OC Racing leading the overall fleet.
Yep.
OC Racing, a 39 Phantom, twin 850 horsepower Merc engines, Joey Oliveri and Billy Glick.
Yeah, and those guys are very loyal competitors. They're at every race. You got to give them credit for making the trips they make from Sarasota.
So our 500 boats were in the back part of that mix.
Yep.
And running too close to call, Pump It and Tough Noogies. So our starting grid is underway for the bracketed class, and all boats are out on their first lap.
Yeah, they'll kind of work their way into position probably the end of this lap, and we'll get a better idea of where everybody is in the 400 race.
Yeah, this will be their first full lap. And thanks for joining us here as you're listening live at Race World Offshore's Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're also working with XINSURANCE Sports. We're also broadcasting at Access LaPorte County Media, ALCO, and live Flag the Flag coverage for those of you out there listening on the radio at WIMS 95.1 FM, 1420 AM. If you're out there on the highway listening, you're moving towards Valparaiso at 106.7 FM, and you can listen online at WIMSradio.com.
Looks like we were just following. It looked like Perdition and Framed were in a good side-by-side. One canopied boat, one open cockpit boat. And here we have the battle for second still in bracket 200 with okay, can any spectator boats please stay clear of the course and obey the buoys, and if a marshal boat or a patrol boat comes and asks you to move in, please do so. And now it looks like Team Woody is making a run at Herbot.
Yeah, Chad Woody and Billy Shipley.
KPE Performance Engines. But the Herbots are not going away. I might want to check that twin 525s.
He said that with a coy smile when I asked about him.
I think it may have had him at one point when they were racing in the old days when the boats would have the twin or single 525 from Mercury.
Woody on the left side of your screen is a good overhead look at Perdition Offshore, John Thornton and Ryan Williamson in their Phantom.
Out of their Rhode Island, right?
I believe so.
And Phantom, Saris Racing Engines. And these guys are veterans. They've been around for a while, running in a lot of the Northeast races. Good looking boat. And here's Team Woody again. Very popular duo that people love that boat and the tractor pipes, the sound.
They're running in second. OC Racing, you'll see them come across your screen, running in first. Oliveri and Glick continue to lead.
Yeah,
Team Woody in second, Herbot Racing in third.
And that's Keith Herbot throttling and Cade is driving, correct?
Yes.
And then that looked like the Sarises. Yep, Johnny and Jason are in first again.
Looks like
Saris in first, Simmons in second.
Yep.
Framed in third. Hartman in fourth. XINSURANCE. I'm not sure what the that other canopied boat is, we'll have to check it. We're just trying to get the, and Pump It is, okay, there's your X-Insurance. I can't get a number off that other boat, can you?
No. Looks like Pump It. Is that your lead boat in Class 500?
Yeah, Pump It is.
It appears Pump It, yes, the lead. Class 500 as we come back in off our first full lap. Joey Dacey and Mike Dacey out of Tampa, Florida, in a 29 Warlock, 555 Merc Power. And
Burnin' Man was, I think, 5th in 400, and then Shocker is 6th. So I'm just not sure. We got to get an ID on that one because you hear it's framed.
From Key West, Florida, Mike Flamia and John Jennick Jr.
Good looking boat. The new livery is nice.
Yeah, that's the old LSB Hurricane of Awesomeness. It's one of the original Britt Lilly boats that he raced with Kevin Smith and some other throttlemen through the years.
Travis Pastrana.
Yeah, and new livery on that with the boys from Key West who won the class championship last year in Key West with Hog's Breath as their sponsor.
And here's OC again, still out front as they're coming down to complete.
Looks like Herbot's making better time
Herbot's
on that
making a move.
eastbound leg as they come around. He's gathered up.
But here goes Chad pouring on the coals.
Yep. So Chad Woody and Billy Shipley, who was on the wheel. Chad's got the throttles. Made up a lot of, pulled away on this westbound beachfront leg on the last lap. Doing the same here.
Yeah, I mean they're the smaller boat, and with the fountain, with the with that swim platform and the snout or the beak as you call it, a 35-foot boat is about 29 foot of running surface. So the Herbots might be making up time if the outer leg is rougher because they have the longer running surface to span the waves better.
Well, this wind continues to hold kind of out of the north-northwest, just under 10 miles an hour. It doesn't seem to be gusting at all here.
Right.
So we come back and look at our leaders in bracket class 400. Sarah's Racing has had the front all the way. Beautiful shot on the water. Up on the side is OC Racing. Yep.
Still in first. Oh, Herbot's off plane. They're off camera, but
we see
OC
Racing.
Woody.
Yep. OC Racing on screen. Beautiful shot in the turn here in front of the start-finish line. As they lead in bracket class 200.
And here comes Saris leading the way in 400.
We got Simmons Racing on the screen.
Simmons on the screen. Yep. They're in second.
Jake Coons and Jason Selecki and the 34-foot Phantom.
And Jake is Jim Simmons' stepson. And Jim owns the boat.
Dedicated to racers with Lake of the Ozarks. They pull around, go all over to races, supporting Offshore throughout the country. Great to see them as always.
Oh, all right. Miss Stress is in 5th with the Hartman boat in 4th. That's who I was missing.
288, Herbot Racing, Cade Herbot, Keith Herbot having some difficulties in off plane. There's a good look at the boys from Texas, Team Woody.
Yeah, they don't bring the fleet they used to when they had the Levy and the 700 boat and everything, but they're still very loyal participants in the sport, which is always good.
Our overall leader, 3 laps in, including the start. OC Racing. We get another look. There's 4-9. The Beatmore boat.
Yep, that's the Burnin' Man. And that is a 32 Speedster built by Dan McNamara at Team Archer out in California.
Kyle Dietzen, Chris McAway got back into the sport this year. Historic racers, raced a long time. Good to see them back here in Michigan City, Indiana. Back to our overall leader, OC Racing, Oliveri and Glick. Flip back to another bracketed class team.
This is the Nitra built in Sweden with the only outboard boat in the Bracket 500 class, Chris Colson and Ray Evans. Still learning the boat, getting the hang of it, but they are happy with the new bottom that they put on it down at Velocity. So
now back to Team Woody from the X-Insurance Helicam. Live coverage of the X-Insurance Great Lakes Grand Prix, Michigan City, Indiana.
love that Texas flag on the canopy, the way that looks.
See Rick and Parker Lindsay working
Yes.
shots for the live stream as well as X-Insurance Sports and the reels that they do such a great job with. Keeping us entertained day by day. Looking back at our bracket 400 leaders here, into our fourth lap of 7 for bracket class 400. There's Saris Racing 441 continuing to lead in the. Yep. Seems to have quite a bit of distance between first and second there.
Yeah, you're not going to find a more disciplined throttleman than Jason Saris. The guy's been doing it so long, builds his own engines, so very unlikely that he'd break out.
Great honor to meet the Saris father and son team today. Read so much about them. There's the X-Insurance Hartman Motorsports team.
Giving chase to the Miss Stress.
John Izzetti, Jerry Hartman, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. 441, Saris Racing continuing to lead. Johnny Saris, Jason Saris, Lake George, New York. 32 Cobra with 650 horsepower Saris Racing engines. There's Team Frame.
They're chasing Simmons Marine. Simmons is still in third. Framed is in fourth. It looks like off-camera Miss Stress has gotten around Hartman. So that's still a really close battle. And here's the speedster, the Burning Man.
Back to Frame, 29 Extreme, LSB Powerboats, building those boats in Arnold, Maryland. Of course, we talked about Britt Lilly earlier. That used to be his boat. And good friends with Mike and John Jenick with them on.
Whoa. But did someone just spin out?
Came up on its side a bit, but
yeah, that's the Miss Stress. So that just opened up for Hartman to move up into fourth. Now Miss Stress has some work to do to make up ground.
Now OC Racing is lapping bracket 500 boats, coming around for its fourth full lap.
Now let's see if Miss Stress does what Great L did in Lake of the Ozarks. Miss a buoy, go back and lap everyone and take the lead again.
Yeah.
Don't see that often.
No, you don't. I'm not sure we're going to see that one again.
And Burning Man just pulled off the course with problems, so they're out. And here's the Tough Noogies, the brand new 30-foot superboat with the Saris power. Guys are putting in time, working their way through the laps in their very first race, so kudos to them. And now we're back to the OC boat. 39 Phantom, Sarasota, Florida. And the Pump It.
So which boat do you have in front, Pump It or Tough Noogies? We have to sort that out. Here's our
I've
leader.
lost. I have been trying to keep up, but I think Tough Noogies might be out.
Anyway, OC Racing is your overall leader, just coming through on what we have as its fifth lap. There's an open microphone in the crowd on a VHF radio, so somebody is bleeding back in and causing trouble with race control. Check your radios out there. If you have it tuned to race control, someone has a mic key down. We need to get that resolved quickly, please. It's Team Woody, a little bounce there.
Yep, just getting into the chop and the wake from other boats. I can't imagine that Nitro throws much of a wake, but that's who they're behind.
But, I mean, this is what you get after you have this many boats out here.
Oh, yeah.
Over a dozen boats.
Round and round and round.
Yeah, and they're putting off wakes. So, I mean, you get that wash tub effect sometimes, especially in places like in Key West where you have a seawall that you're pounding into and pushing back against.
Yeah.
Sarah's racing.
Comfortably out front. Johnny working his way around the course, working the wheel.
Old style boat, 3, crew members, 3 bolsters. It's the way it used to be. You had a throttle man, a driver, and a navigator. Not so common these days. Open cockpit boats.
And both of the Sarases are also accomplished guitarists who play in cover bands locally up in New York.
Simmons Racing running in second here.
Keep them from going crazy in those long winters. Framed is still in third.
Trailing in third, they have an 800 horsepower Tyler Crockett engine in Framed.
Hartman is up to fourth. Let's see if he can close it all on Jerry Hartman and John Izzetti. See if they can close on Frame. Perdition is now up to fifth, but Jimmy Wessel and his throttlemen are trying to track them down after they did their spin, and they're in sixth place. I'll keep an eye on the bracket 5 to see who's in front when they come by.
Another look again, and they're just having a great day out there. Oliveri and Glick and OC Racing. Again, especially in these classes.
Yeah.
All throughout the day, all of these results we're broadcasting are unofficial. Team Woody running well in their 35 Fountain, but especially in the bracketed classes because they will have to turn in their chips from their V-Box recorders, and race officials will make sure there were no breakouts.
Billy Glick, as much as we like the OC Racing boat, we still want to see that Cooper Standard Fountain back out here.
Absolutely.
You bring that boat out and you race Knucklehead.
Knuckleheads, which is the old Instigator.
Okay, the Tough Noogies is leading.
It does look like
as rookies.
Yeah, it looks
So
like Tough
good for
Noogies.
them.
As we see them on the screen, in the lead in Class 500, Matt Reska and Gavin Jafarian out of Howard Hill, Massachusetts, 30-foot superboat with 800 Saris racing engines. Good day for the Saris racing team.
Now the folks from that state will yell at you if you don't say Haverhill.
Haverhill, you told me that yesterday. Smack me. Give me a noogie. No pun intended. Here's your second place boat.
29-foot Warlock built out in California. I raced one of those for a year in the Offshore A class. It was Wizard of Oz.
Pump It running in second here in bracket class 500.
Ours wasn't stepped. Theirs is a stepped hull.
Pump It Up. Joey Dacey, Mike Dacey out of Tampa, Florida in the Warlock. Live coverage of the XINSURANCE Offshore Great Lakes Grand Prix from the Porte Products Broadcast Center here in Michigan City, Indiana. What a beautiful day for racing, and we got so much more coming your way throughout the afternoon. We'll have qualifying coming up next with our 2 biggest classes of boats, upwards of 40 feet, the Pro Class 1 boats with the QC4V quad cam 4-valve 1100 horsepower turbocharged Mercury Comp engines, and then the Super Cats naturally aspirated carbureted engines.
Now this should be the Sarases starting their last lap, because I've got them. I've got the end. Is this the end of lap 6 for you?
Yes.
Okay, and they're running 7. So
now we're assuming that they're counting a 3/4 lap as a lap.
That'll tell us that that's the format for the rest of the weekend by what we see in the next couple of laps.
From the XINSURANCE Helicam team, Woody from Texas, Chad Woody on throttles, and
Billy
Shipley, who is on the wheel. Great friends and teammates over the years.
Now, one person that people are used to seeing at the races who is not here this weekend, give a shout out to Jeff Girardi from Freeze Frame. He's dealing with some health issues, and we hope you get better soon, Jeff. And here's Simmons still running in second at 400. Jason Zolecki from Lake of the Ozarks has been a long-time racer.
So Simmons, Frame running in third. OC Racing, Team Woody, 1-2 in bracket class 200.
Hartman is still 4th in 400. And Perdition has opened up a little bit of a distance on Miss Stress.
These boats can take water, ballast water, and you saw Team Woody blowing on some ballast. Perdition running through.
Now I'm going to have to go look up what perdition means. Is it a word?
Yes.
Wasn't
Wasn't there a movie called Perdition?
Maybe that's it.
Tom Hanks
A
movie?
Western?
No, it's like set in the mob 30s.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to, we think this could be the last lap for OC because they're running 8.
Looks like they're gonna go around at least for one more.
Because I thought they said this morning that when you pass the start buoy for the first time, that's the start of your first lap. So,
well, I just have them through on 7. They're doing 8 laps.
Yeah.
So they have one more lap to go.
And this is still Tough Noogies leading in 500. I don't know what lap they're on, but they're running 5 laps, so they might be done. Let's see.
Watch Oliveri and Glick for what should be their last lap here in this bracket, class 800, and second, Team Woody.
That 30 Super Bowl looks good in its first race.
After the Pro Class 1 Super Cab boats qualify, as we go back on top with the X-Insurance Helicam, we'll have 2 heats of 14 Super Stock boats. Set up the starting grid for tomorrow's full lap race.
Yeah, they're kind of taking a page out of the Formula One book. A couple of sprint races to set the field for the big race on Sunday. And that's a testament to the guys in that the teams in that class for continuing to grow it and have double-digit fleets at every race.
Talked to Superstock class representative Ryan Beckley. He thinks it could be 20 boats at the Race World Offshore Key West World Championships in November.
Man, what's that going to look like in the harbor turd?
Yeah.
They're going to have to dance carefully going through there.
They have a new starting grid where they're trying to spread the boats out.
Yep.
And
let's see if Saris gets a checkered flag here, or if they've got one more, then we'll know. No, nothing's waving yet, so they're on their last lap now. So that tells us for the rest of the day that the first time by is not lap 1.
Good look at your overall leader in bracket class 400, Saris Racing. Perdition.
Yeah, look, Perdition is down.
Yes.
There's Framed still giving chase, and they're still holding the final podium spot in 3rd place.
Yep, there's your 2nd place boat.
Simmons Marine.
Yep, 200. Team Framed. Key West boys.
Yeah, they must have been cold this morning.
Yeah, we are. All the Key West people here are cold. I mean,
I saw Bill Pyburn wearing a jacket at the driver's meeting. He's a Florida guy.
Yeah, no, you kidding
I'm
me,
in
especially
Maine.
in the morning.
I'm in Maine. My blood's like syrup.
Yeah.
Now let's see if we got a checkered flag, because they should be done in the OC boat coming across the start. Oh, still going. Did you see a flag wave anywhere?
No, I was looking at Team Woody from the X-Insurance Helicam.
Yeah.
There's OC Racing at least out for one more, so we've learned now that opening lap is not a lap. It's just the start.
When they come by, that's the green flag.
Well, I'll tell you what, Team Woody's going pretty fast, so it's outflying the X-Insurance Helicam. So they were right at their bracketing speed of 95 miles an hour. Let's hope they're not going over. It's a no-no.
They're veterans. I don't think that Chad's going to break out at this point.
Also with the flying the country colors over the canopy of that boat. It's a great state of Texas.
Is that the U.S. flag or is it the
The
Texas
Texas
flag?
flag.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the Texas flag on it.
Texas flag.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty.
You see the fans lining the beaches here in Michigan City, Indiana. The Sarah's team, 441.
Yeah,
I see a white flag on the pace boat, so yeah, I think we're gonna have one more lap.
Or was that for the Tough Noogies boat that just went by because
Possibly.
bracket 500's running 5 laps?
It can get confusing because you have boats running different numbers of laps here. I see a white flag up.
Yeah, they've got a white flag up for Pump It as it's coming by. Let's see what comes, because the next boat, you're not going to see it on the screen, but here's the Ceres. So let's see what, because they're coming towards the finish now. So this will tell us if they've finished their, because they're running 7 laps.
I'm seeing the white flag to broadcast control. I'm seeing it closer to the turn. That's where the flag is being waved from as we see the Sarah's team cruise by, and they're still racing. And I see a white flag there. So bearing with us, we sort things out, getting on the air here on a wonderful day in Michigan City, Indiana, LaPorte County. Wonderful host here to our Race World Offshore event in Michigan City, Indiana.
I'm an editor, I can't count.
Well, we do our best. Second place, Simmons Racing. And the 38-foot.
Good representation of Phantoms this year.
34-foot Phantom.
This race, and there'll be more in the 600 class, I believe.
The Noogies boat. So there briefly is Team Simmons moves off, completing another lap. The Nitra.
Yep, they're. Oh well, when Perdition went down, they must not have restarted because the Nitrous are about to get passed by Miss Stress, which would have that boat moving up to 5th. And Shocker would move up to 6th, even though they're well off the pace.
Back to Team Woody. The bracket class 200. That class bracketed at 95 miles an hour. Is running second behind OC Racing most of the day.
That's a lot of boat length difference right there. The 39 Phantom's a true 39. And that little fountain is still running.
Winds continue to hold there out of the north-northeast, just under 10 or right at about 10 miles an hour. Maybe a little bit of a slight gust more. Cool air coming off Lake Michigan.
I'm wondering if Team Woody is headed for the pits there.
Yeah.
Here's Tough Noogies still leading. Yeah, Team Woody is heading right back to the pits. So
yeah,
something's not right there.
Well, and also, I mean, we may have had the finish of the race already.
Yep. Well, congrats.
Tough Noogies continuing to lead and very
bracket 500.
Very well on their way to winning here at the XINSURANCE Offshore Great Lakes Grand Prix, and Pump It will take second today.
Yeah, Tough Noogies is pulling in, so I think they got the win. I'm also not sure which boat we should be looking at for the checkered flag. Is it that Flybridge boat or is it the little pale blue center console?
Yeah, I'm
not sure which.
So I believe that white flag is a static flag.
Yeah, because it hasn't moved. It hasn't come down in a while. Unless the checkered flag's being waved by the pace boat that's next to that yellow buoy at the end of the races.
To get the binoculars out.
We'll keep an eye out, because here comes Saris is coming by them right now. Let's see if they give any kind of flag.
The start finish has been moved up here to this turn where the boats are. That yellow buoy.
Yep, they just waved a checkered flag for the Saris.
So it was on the.
It's on the pace boat. Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Now we'll be able to better monitor it. So the Sarises get the win in bracket 400.
Seems like our bracket 200, it was OC Racing, Team Woody, and Urbot Racing.
Yep. And then Team Woody was second. And then
so Saris Racing.
Whoa, what? Hartman XINSURANCE was like 4th or 5th the whole race, and now all of a sudden, are they the next boat across? What happened to Simmons? I haven't seen him come by, because Framed has just crossed the start finish. Something happened to the Simmons boat. And here's the mistress.
Grab your binoculars and look behind the start buoy, see what that boat is there.
That's Saris.
Okay, so
That's the 3-person boat, and they've all got their helmets off and getting ready to go get their flag.
well, if that was a finishing lap, it appeared that Frame may have moved up to second.
No, because Hartman was ahead of Frame.
Were they on the same lap?
That's what we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Because
Again, all of these results are unofficial. You see Billy Glick, Joey Oliveri, and their 39 Phantom, the big winner here today in bracket class racing, bracket class 200. Pump It took second in bracket class 500. Tough Nookies finishing in first.
yep, congrats to them on their first win in their first race.
Yeah, Matt Reska, Garen Jafarian.
So Saris
Engines there in a 30-foot superboat, and
they won 400, they won 500.
400, Saris Offshore Racing, the Saris team, Lake George, New York, 32 Cobra with 650 horsepower Saris Racing engines. All of these results are unofficial, especially with bracket class racing.
Yeah, they have to turn in the V-box.
And with weather like this today, there are bound to be some breakouts. And if you go over your bracketed speed, you get penalized. You will get moved back on the grid. Our first race in the books here. See if we can figure out what happened with Simmons Racing. And once results are official, they'll get posted up on Race World Offshore's website, raceworldoffshore.com. As we
Pro Class 1 qualifying, followed by Super Cat and Super Stock, will begin at 12:45. So we've got about a 10-minute gap.
bracket class racing is in the books. You're listening and watching the Maximum Inflation live stream. Leland Gas Technologies, the owner of Maximum Inflation brand, makes CO2 and nitrogen gas cartridges for marine, motorcycle, aviation, and military safety devices such as inflatables, life jackets, and rider fall protection. Since 1965, Leland Gas Technologies has been producing packaged gases and related gas handling equipment. Todd and Eric continuing on with our coverage as we look at the Pump It team cruising by the fans here on the beaches. Thousands lining Lake Michigan here. LaPorte County and Michigan City Tourism is enjoying Race World Offshore Powerboat racing here. 71 boats out to race this weekend. We've got Pro Class 1 and Super Cat qualifying coming up for you right here from the Porte Broadcast Center on Race World Offshore's live stream, Facebook, and YouTube. We're going to take a break, come back.